What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Marketing Tip Tea Time at 222, your favorite Facebook Live and YouTube live stream. So we're back at it again. Got another cool episode for you guys. I am your host, Josh French, and here with my co-host, Aaron Zamola.
That is me.
Back for, I think we're on episode 70 something now. We're getting up there.
There's a lot of episodes that we've done. Yes.
We're getting up there. So
thank you to the 5 people watching right now. You're the real MVPs. I don't know who you are. Drop a wave in the comments if you're watching us right now. No matter who you are, drop a wave right now. I want to see it.
Thank you. You guys are the best. So today we're going to be talking about Google Shopping ads. So the past few weeks, we've had some guests on in between, but we've been talking about what are Google search ads, what are Google display ads. Well, today we're going to be getting into shopping ads. So what are shopping ads? So basically we're going to be talking about what they are and if they're right for your business. Shopping campaigns can promote your online and local inventory, boost traffic to your website or local store, and find better qualified leads. Google Shopping ads integrate with both the Google Search and Display networks, which we've covered both on separate Marketing Tip Tea Time episodes, which can reach 92% of the world's population combined. So if you're a retailer, there's really no question that these can be a huge value add for your business.
Exactly.
And so in this episode, we'll talk about how they work and what kind of value they provide.
But wait! There's something more important than the information we're about to drop on Google Shopping.
Oh, of course. Yeah, this is important.
And that is, of course, our tea.
That's right. So, Aaron, what are we drinking today?
So today we are drinking. Hi, Mom. Hi, Peter. Hi,
hello,
everyone. Today we are drinking Yogi Kava Stress Relief.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great tea. It really actually helps you to relax. It's a very good stress reliever.
And we've had this on the show before.
We have. This is a good one. We have about 80 bags each in our cups. So I'm just gonna. Wait,
we had one before.
I see how this
now
works.
We're trying 2.
Yes.
And is that CBD around here?
Is it tea?
I brought down a...
Oh, right here. We've got some CBD. This is Flow
perfect.
CBD from our friends at Flow CBD.
Shout out to Flow CBD.
Sterling, if you're watching. Yeah.
CBD goes really well.
I'm gonna go ahead and... Oh, here we go. Look at that pour.
Throw a big...
Can we close up on my pour? Somebody?
Yeah, we'll have Phil zoom in on that.
That is tea, Phil. That is tea.
Just fill mine up like halfway to 3/4. That's a sweet spot. What? Everyone has their own preference.
All right, let's get a close up of that pour.
Like right there. Perfect.
All right, Josh only fills his cup up half empty.
I like it more concentrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a cup half empty kind of guy.
I'm a mug half full kind of guy. Some of the times.
It is filled halfway.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, CBD.
Now we're going to dive back into shopping ads. If you have any questions about shopping ads or anything we're talking about on this show, please leave it in the comments right now. We're going to be talking about a lot of good information, mainly information that Josh has come up with. Just, strap on in for the ride.
Yeah, strap on in, because we're going full speed, full send. So let's get into it. What are Google Shopping ads and how do they work? So basically, they are image ads of your product. I mean, this could be shoes. This could be, really kind of any retail product, shirts.
Shirts, watches, any type of product, lumber.
I guess
if you're
lumber.
if you're selling succulents.
I guess if you're retailing lumber.
Number 14 Phillips screwdrivers.
Really,
light bulbs,
all kinds of products.
Glasses.
So a good example of this is if you were to go to open up another browser right now, another window in your browser, on Google Chrome and search, let's say Air Jordans. What you'd see in the search results is a line of shoes up top, and then you'd see the text results underneath. So that line of shoes across the top, those are all shopping ads. So great example.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
So that's really kind of the primary location that those will show up.
Yes.
Is through the Google Search Network after you've made a related search like Air Jordans, and then pictures of Air Jordans will show up at the top, right? Those are shopping ads.
And maybe even some other unrelated, well, still shoes, but maybe not Air Jordans would show up in that as well.
Yes. Yeah.
It depends on your search preferences, actually. Depending on what you've been searching previously, Google may show you other shoes.
Oh, that's strong. This is really strong.
Josh is about to fall asleep here, just to let you all know.
Probably. So they can show up there. They can show up through Google Images.
Google Images, yep.
Through Google Shopping, like if you were to do a Google search, you can see in the tabs there's search results, images. You can see a shopping tab. Shopping ads would show up there as well, and they can also show up through the Google Display Network, like
Hi, Mr. Vogel.
on websites. All the different places that the Google Display Network can connect to.
Yep.
Right. So
Yep.
really, it interlocks very closely with Google Search and Display Networks.
Yes, it does.
So it's interesting how we covered search and display, those being two separate things, but shopping really kind of interweaves between the two,
Yes.
which is pretty cool.
Now,
So-
what makes shopping ads so special? They're not, okay? No, they actually kind of are, a little bit. So, let me tell you what's so great about Google shopping ads. Okay, so Google shopping ads are fantastic in the sense, like I said, they will actually change which shopping ads show to you based off of your prior search history. So, like I said, if you're looking at Nikes and you still search for Air Jordans, there is a chance that Google will make a connection and say, oh, wait a second, they were on a Nike site earlier, like here's some Nike shoes. So Google will actually look at your past experience with that, which means that if you get into that specific search, those searches are highly qualified with a person who is in market to purchase something most likely. Google picks up on all these cues based on the person's research that they're doing on the shoes to show the most relevant shopping ads for them. Now, it can also help with consideration and awareness. For example, like we said, maybe there's something new that comes up that you weren't exactly looking for, but it intrigues you. Google knows all this stuff behind the scenes. They've got this AI running. But what can happen is that if Google says, okay, your shopping ad is going to match with this person, they might not have been aware that you even existed. And now you are in the awareness stage where when your shopping ad comes up, somebody now knows that you exist because it will literally be in that top part. And then it can drive consideration because it doesn't just have a picture of your shoe or whatever, your light bulb, your lumber that you're selling, which, by the way, lumber prices have been going up quite a bit lately. Somebody's got to get on top of that. Side note.
Even more than Dogecoin.
Even more than Dogecoin. So the important thing is that in the consideration phase, you've got things like the price, it'll show reviews that have come up with that, and a bunch of other information if you want it to be in that ad, description, things like that. Everything's really short, by the way. It's in a very small box, so you have to be very concise, or it will actually cut things off, and Google won't even let you run past a certain number of characters. So make sure that you know the character limits and that your creative and your copy is fitting within those character limits. But other than that, it's great for somebody to then see, oh, this is a great company. They've got 5 stars or 4.5 stars or whatever it is, and then this is something I hadn't even considered. And then, of course, shopping ads are really for conversion, the conversion stage, because one click and you're there. So shopping ads really help with the entire stage, like all stages of the purchase cycle, but conversions is the one that is really, really trying to drive because it's so good at finding those in-market audiences of people looking to buy something at that moment. So, I mean, that is just magic. The magic of Google.
Exactly, especially when they incorporate into Google search results. As we've talked about before, those are the searches, or really the actions that show the highest intent of actually purchasing a product, right? So having those right at the top right away, the first thing people see when they have that intent of wanting to make a purchase of something, like they want to buy a new pair of shoes, boom, top of the search results, right in front of them.
Which, by the way, anybody have I don't know if you can
Please
see my
help
shoe.
Aaron out. He needs some new shoes.
I need some new shoes.
We're gonna start up a GoFundMe for
We've got a hole
Aaron's
coming
shoes.
through here, and
Yeah.
I can stick my finger through this hole. There's a lot of holes on my shoe.
Yeah, yeah, we got to work on that, buddy. So let's talk about targeting. So
Yes,
how
let's
can
talk
you?
about it.
Yeah, so how can you target these ads, right? We've touched on targeting with search and display and making sure you can reach the right audiences, right? The most relevant audiences for people to see your ads and convert. The same applies with Google Shopping ads, how you can target super relevant traffic. Like, for example, your products are Nike shoes, or maybe you're selling lumber.
Lumber.
Okay, you
Lumber.
you can target those to show up on searches like lumber near me or
Yep.
I need lumber.
Yep. Or 2x4. You know, you can start getting
2x4.
really specific with stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you could.
Treated
Websites.
pine 2x4.
Yeah.
Oak 2x4. I
Yeah,
mean, if
yeah.
you're a contractor,
I
you've
mean,
got
the
specifics.
possibilities are endless, right? Certain websites too, like lumber websites.
Lumber
you know,
websites,
just
yes.
websites about wood. You know, you can
Yeah.
get your lumber, get your lumber on those sites, right? But basically, you still have that same really defined targeting that you would get through the Google Search and Display
Yep.
networks, because,
Yep.
well, I mean, you're essentially weaving those into both of those networks,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You're using the targeting features available through those.
In
for your
addition,
shopping
if we're
ads.
talking about lumber, you can actually, so who's going to buy lumber, right? The biggest buyers of lumber are construction contractors, which are kind of the same thing. Google actually does have a construction audience already built into Google. So you could select that in your demographics and poof! Now you're showing to contractors and construction workers who are probably looking for lumber. So if you work for lumber liquidators in Denver or wherever it is, this would be great for you.
And a quick note on audiences, we touched on this in, I think, both the search and display episodes, but
Yep.
just want to do a quick recap on what exactly is an audience. So Google can categorize you and put you into different,
Cubes.
they call in-market audiences.
Yep.
Or demographic audiences. For example, if I were to go on YouTube and look up how do I best buy a used car, what are the things I need to look for in buying a used car, Google could put me in the in-market audience of someone that's looking to buy a used car, right?
Yeah.
And you can actually have your ads target that audience. Say if you're a used car dealership running Google Ads, you can use that audience to target your ads to those people
Oh yeah.
that are in the market to actually buy a used car. So, yes, so using those audiences will really help your shopping ads become as relevant as they possibly can, which we can see very high levels of relevancy with really any kind of Google ads, but shopping ads, that's definitely there too, as you've heard about in search and display. So, yeah,
Exactly.
audiences are a really cool tool.
They are. They are.
In
they
short.
are. And you know, you might be asking yourself, as everyone does who owns a business or has money, how much does this cost? Well, as we've talked about previously, Google has created their own economy within the bidding on where your ads will be placed and how they'll be placed. So it varies widely. Some industries are much more expensive. The finance industry is still one of the most expensive places that you can place an ad. So it's just very competitive because the margins are so high in a lot of instances. But you know, lumber, well, the margins aren't probably that great there. So I'm thinking that, you know, it's going to be a bit lower. But on average, so we go off of pretty much a 5% kind of conversion rate that we.
Yeah, it just
Like
has like
go off
as a
of-
general guideline
general
for doing projections
guideline.
that basically 5% of the clicks you have on your ads will lead to conversion.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's what we've seen historically, which means on average you're going to have at least 20 clicks before you see some sort of a conversion.
At least.
And now, but here's the thing, guys, okay? And I'm going to reiterate this. All these ads take time because there's AI in the background and they go into what's called learning mode where everything's learning to optimize. So, you know, throw that number out the window if you're barely new to Google. You're going to have at least 3 weeks of solid targeting and ad spend and data before you start to see consistent conversions at the cost per acquisition that you'd like. So while we say on average it takes 20, that's 20 after optimization, not during optimization. That's a very important note to keep, I think, because a lot of people are like, oh, I've had 800 clicks and nothing's happened. Well, you know, you've only ran your ad for a day. So
Takes time.
So it does take time, and you've got to make sure that you are patient with these ads and giving them the time that they need to mature and learn, because that AI is super powerful. Also keep in mind that if you're just promoting in-store products, you're going to see a lower conversion rate, because a lot of times the conversion goals that you're going to be trying to get, if it's not like an actual online sale, you've got like calls and in-store visits, and it's a lot harder to connect those dots, but your conversion rate is going to be quite a bit lower. However, it is important to note that 21.55% of the entire world shops online regularly. Precisely, as of 2018. So it's a few years old, but
Yeah, and a quick note on one of Aaron's vital notes: keep your conversion funnel as short as you can, because the longer it is, the lower your conversion rate.
Exactly.
So
How do you know if these
Quick
things are working? How do you know if they're valuable, Josh? They're just a piece of trash. Like, how do we not do
I mean,
that?
you really just can't tell, honestly. So that'll wrap things up.
All right, and no, I'm just...
So really, like we touched on in the previous two episodes of Search and Display, you can use conversion tracking to measure the exact effectiveness of these shopping ads.
The more you know.
The more you know. So you can actually see exactly how much value these shopping ads are generating for you if you have the option for people to purchase your products online. If, in the instance, you don't have that option available and you only have in-store purchases, you can't really see exactly how much value they're generating, right? You can see that they got you X number of clicks,
Yep.
and maybe they got you a certain number of calls, and maybe they got you a certain number of visits on your website that lasted 3 minutes or longer, which is, you know, highly engaged traffic. So maybe you can see that, but you can't see that bottom line unless you have, yeah. Why are you making that face? Unless you can actually purchase, people can actually purchase your products on your website, and you can use that conversion tracking to actually see the exact amount that they generate.
As a side note, if you are a retailer and you do not have your products listed online where people can buy them online, what the hell are you doing? Honestly, online purchases last year increased 800% in a single year, according to Google. 800%. In fact, now they're saying that brands who aren't listed online have a 70% less likely chance of being purchased from because they're not listed online. People do the research online, and a lot of them will buy online, and then a lot of them will buy in store as well, but the research happens online. And if your products are not listed online, you're losing out on up to 70% of sales. Boom, right off the top, done. So
you want to list your stuff online?
get with it. I talk to people and they're like, "Oh, I just don't want to put my stuff online." Get it online. Do it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Just do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. Yeah. So clearly, there's a ton of benefit to doing that, and with shopping ads in particular, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just something you need to do, right?
Exactly.
For a multitude of reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, after my little rant, that seems to be all
That
the
was an enjoyable
time.
rant.
Well, thank you.
That was one of the more
Thank
enjoyable
you,
ones
everyone.
I've seen, at least.
And after that rant, I'm afraid we're going to have to wrap up our little show, Josh. Marketing
Fear
Tip
so.
Tea Time at 2:22 is now over, but we will see you next week at 2:22 on Friday. And in the upcoming weeks, we have some very special guests that are gonna blow your socks off.
Including Metallica next week.
Nope,
We're still working on that. We're still working on that.
But
One day.
until then, until next Friday,
Thanks for joining us.
Nasravi.
Cheers.